Hello, World Travel.
Better code of behaviour. It is important that all spectators at a Football Federation Victoria approved fixture are able to enjoy the match in a safe and comfortable environment. Accordingly, each person present at the FFV fixture must A. Respect the decisions of the match officials. B. Respect the rights, dignity and worth of every person regardless of their race, colour, religion, language, politics, national or ethnic origin. C. Not engage in the use of violence in any form, whether it may be against other spectators, team officials, including coaches or players. D. Not engage in discrimination, harassment or abuse in any form, whether lawful or otherwise, including but not limited to the use of obscene or offensive language or gestures. The incitement of hatred or violence or partaking in the decent or graceless chanting. E. Comply with FFV conditions of entry or venues and any conditions. F. Not carry liable throw flares or missiles, including on the field of play or at other spectators. G. Or enter the field of play that surrounds with lawful authority. And H. Conduct themselves in a manner that enhances rather than injures the reputation and goodwill of FFV, Football Federation Australia, FFA, and football generally. Any person who does not comply with this code, or who is in the opinion of the club and FFV causes attempts to cause or is reasonably likely to cause disruption, may be evicted from the venue and banned from attending further matches held on behalf of FFV. Any offender who then breaches the ban or against them may be charged with trespass and subject to further penalties and sanctions, including the possibility of further legal action.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Is it a bit?
Yeah, maybe higher.
Bit higher? Okay, easy. I can do that. We definitely have. I haven't got them written down in number order. Yeah, highlighted in pink are the starters, and then we got the subs. I've got the asterisks for the subs. It is round 17.
17.
Hang on, where did I have it the other week? Was it yes, please. Hang on. Could you?
Do you need to place it? Hey?
Yeah, I need to place it somewhere. I can't figure out where. Just there?
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3. That's much better.
Yep.
Cool.
Test.
Easy. All good with the tests.
Welcome to George Andrews Reserve on this cold, rainy night. Round 17 action. Dandenong Thunder hosts Altona Magic. To the two team lineups. The opposition Altona Magic. Number 1, Ilya Shalomonov-Trenkova. Number 2, Hiyori Kawaguchi. Number 5, Dejan Bradanovsky. Number 6, Johnny Stoichevsky. Number 7, Connor O'Keefe. Number 11, Bilal Habib. Number 14, Anthony Frangi. Number 15, Alexander Gust. Number 16, Mohammed Al-Hawi. Number 17, Daniel Fabrizio. And number 85, Salil Kamara. Substitutes for Altona Magic. Number 13, Gavin Tasevsky. Number 19, Julian Rodriguez. Number 20, George Tsirinadis. Number 34, Lachlan Gillard. And number 88, Christian Rossi. To the Dandenong Thunder. Number 1, Jamie Young. Number 3, Daniel Alessi. Number 5, Mercy Mametti. Number 7, Yuki Uchida. Number 8, Kyle Taylor. Number 10, Daniel Clark. Number 11, Ali Suleimani. Number 12, Jay Romanovsky. Number 14, Hassan Jolla. Number 15, Tis Van Amorgan. Number 13, Mohamed Selimovsky. Substitutes for the Dandenong Thunder. Number 2, Liram Elmazi. Number 4, Sevdim Ismaili. Number 6, Aidan Edwards. Number 18, Mitchell Rook. Number 17, Jock Akuan. And number 32, Benjamin McCullough. Hope you enjoy the game and go Dandenong Thunder.
didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Surely's going to come on after you give me an umbrella. Give me yours, man. That's a few. Hey, you give me that one, I'll give you this. Okay. I'll give you after the game. That's a simple one.
Good evening, wherever you're watching in Victoria, across the nation, or indeed worldwide. We welcome you to George Andrews Reserve, the usually picturesque home of Dandenong Thunder, though you wouldn't know it, on a wet and wild Saturday night in Melbourne's southeast. Tonight, the Altona Magic come to town, having been beaten by Preston last time out, which brought to an end a run of 3 straight wins. The Thunder, on the other hand, have had a roadblock fortnight, but there is no way better to dampen and to re-brighten your season than a dramatic stoppage-time derby win on the other side of town, courtesy of Yuki Yoshida. The perfect remedy to a frustrating couple of weeks which saw the Thunder drop from 2nd to 4th in the table and now trying to keep pace with the title-chasing pack. They return home with no form being more formidable than themselves on their own special patch. Unbeaten at this place all season, and the continuation of that would aid their title push as well as reinforce their place in the fight for a top 4 finish. And these two have history this season. They've met twice already. The Thunder victorious on both occasions. A 1-0 win at Paisley Park.
To tame the conditions the best, and by the looks of the radar and the weather radar, it's not going to let up. So the ball is going to slide through, and it's going to be slick. The hill here, or the slope, I should say, at Thunder's ground is could play a big factor. It's with an Altona side that's short on personnel across the board, unfortunately, with the sending off last week, and the likes of Rossi and Co out injured. Benches are looking a bit scarce as well.
Let's have a look into those lineups as we mentioned. We'll start with the hosts. Jamie Young continues his run in between the sticks. Daniel Alessi, Massim Mehmeti, May's Player of the Month Yuki Yoshida, as well as Kyle Taylor, Daniel Clark, Ali Suleimani, Jay Romanovsky, Hassan Jallo, Tisfan Amarongan and Mehmet Selimovsky all starts for the Dandenong Thunder. For Altona, Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkova, Hayori Kawaguchi, Dejan Bakadanakovsky, Johnny Stoichevsky, Conor O'Keefe, Bilal Habib, Anthony Frangi, Alexander Gust, Mohamed Al-Hali, Daniel Fabrizio and Salu Kamara as Dandenong Thunder get proceedings underway for tonight. Alessi, I tried to work it very quickly down the line for Yoshida, who's already looking to cause issues. This is one in early. Bakadanakovsky had to clear it, had to cut it away. Yoshida kept the press going. Mehmeti stabbed it back to Yuki Yoshida. Has three around him. Tried to twist and turn his way instead. Went all the way back for Alessi. Van Amerongen. Mehmeti. Altona's turn to press. Van Amerongen put under pressure by Habib. Maybe a bit too eagerly.
Yes, but it's you can see the pattern of play early. Dandenong are going to hold on to the ball as much as they can. They're going to dominate possession with probably a heavy counter-attack from Altona, or even a press like they just did and demonstrated there. They almost caught them, and pattern of play is going through that defensive five with Young bossing it, and you can see they're happy to try and play it around, force their way forward, and it's very custom from Adam Piddock's teams in previous seasons. It's very textbook, but it works. There's no doubt about it, and it's worked this season so far.
A win here tonight would take Dandenong Thunder closer to Heidelberg and closer to Avondale. It would also momentarily at least put them ahead of Oakley in the table as their push for finals, their push for the title continues. Altona wanting to ruffle a few feathers and be the first team to win on this ground this season. Van Amerongen was fouled. The free kick tried to be taken quickly. Yoshida won it. And already, Altona, having dived in, they gave it away. Challenge was heavy on Yuki Yoshida.
Out of frustration of they tried to play it early, and Dandenong player was in the way, and the referee said, yes, we're happy with that and play on. And that was just pure frustration. And it's got a long way to go. Only the first few minutes of the game to last the full 90. It's a big ask.
Anthony Frangi will have to walk the tightest of ropes. He's the first in the book tonight. Thunder free kick taken all the way back to Young. Van Amerongen, Mehmeti. Backward takes Van Amerongen. Waited on his options. Mehmeti. Quickly into the channel for Romanovsky, who's taken a yard against Kawaguchi. Cleared it. Selimovsky won it up. Clark came away with it. This time Romanovsky's found. Waited on support. Mehmeti was one of them. Selimovsky. Romanovsky. Lovely 1-2. Selimovsky. Altona wanted it out. Whistle didn't go. On the far side, the flag was raised, but it will be a Dandenong Thunder corner. First corner of the evening. On a wet and wild Saturday, set pieces may prove to be important. Thunder's first chance to load everyone into the box, to lay siege to this Altona goal. Red and black congregation around the back post. It's Taylor's take. Fizzed into a lovely area. Cleared away. Romanovsky doing battle. Altona might have an opportunity to break. Habib came on the far side. Young was there to clear it. The flag went up anyway. But a first look for Bilal Habib to get in behind that Dandenong Thunder defence.
Yeah, the ball's on. Just broke a little early, but it shows how they can. Their game plan is to counter-attack, and it's prevalent right there as Dandenong swing the ball out the far side.
Yoshida from Suleimani. That was a smashing switch from Mehmeti. Van Amerongen. Mehmeti hooked it into the channel again. Taylor gave chase. That's a lovely touch for Romanovski. Won't have the opportunity to do anything with it. Taylor was adjudged to have fouled.
Yeah, just a little trip, just to ensure he didn't get that forward pass. It was just cheeky. We didn't go past Yanni, who's referee today.
Taken quickly. Lofted towards broadcast side channel. Mehmeti there to clear his lines. Frangi went up with Van Amerongen. He is Altona Magic's top scorer this season with 4. How important will he be tonight in terms of how they go about executing their play on the counter?
Yeah, if they can get the ball into him, he's good at his feet. You've got Bilal Habib, who's lightning quick, and if they can get those two connecting well together, they can be dangerous. And with the defensive stocks thrown into the box there, and could have gone anywhere.
Habib recovered it. Fabrizio gave it to Kamara, who worked it wonderfully for Karaguchi. Whipped on towards the back post, and Young had to be there to claim it. Teasing ball towards the back stick. He gave it to Suleimani. Tried to roll it into the channel for Hassan Jallo. Hooked away for a Dandenong Thunder throw. Suleimani. Jallo working it in the channel. Tried to flick it on for Clark. Bakadanakovsky cleared it only as far as Suleimani. Alessi, Van Amerongen. Mehmeti has Romanovski going in the channel. Went back for Van Amerongen. Now Young. Alessi. Drew O'Keefe gave it to Suleimani, who had a yard, tried to loft it in towards the channel for Yoshida. A little trickle out of play.
Yeah, you can tell the Altona coaching staff not happy with O'Keefe there. He didn't do what was asked, and they didn't want to press at that point, and they almost got caught and could have got caught on that far side. And they need to be a lot more strict and more rigid in that press, and they can cause some trouble when they press together and as a team. Hear the coaches screaming for them to step. That one's going to be straight offside. Arno's going to give it eventually, but it's Stuckel 2 to the keeper, who potentially has one of the longest names in Victorian football, I dare to say.
Shalamanov Trenkova. Happy to keep it calm. It was lofted towards Habib, who lost out. Gus did well, gave it to Frangi. And Altona have a chance down the left-hand side. They tried to shift their way beyond many a Thunder shirt. Taylor made the challenge in the end. Van Amerongen gave it to Romanovski. Clark, Taylor. Worked his magic to get out of an Altona tangle. And then played it into Jallo, who took it down wonderfully. Romanovski couldn't get away beyond El Harley.
He's got limited options on this near side. He tosses it and then it's knocked into open space in the middle.
Habib tried to make it work. Alessi gave it to Yoshida, who turned deftly. Rolled it wide for Romanovski, who had Clark on the overlap. Clark feasted into a dangerous area. Jallo couldn't get a touch. Suleimani kept it alive. Taylor tried to wrap it first time via a deflection. Dandenong Thunder have their lead. Kyle Taylor the one to take it on. It took a wicked touch. Dipped devilishly under the bar, but Dandenong Thunder have themselves ahead.
The pressure there from Thunder kept the chance alive, and the swiftness of their attack, but has that opened up the defensive frailties of Altona. Can they quell this pressure that they've been under and put some pressure back on Dandenong themselves? And it's easily given away, and that's not going to help.
League's lowest scorers now have to do just that and then some. If they are to turn it around, if they are to keep the momentum they've built in recent weeks going, despite being beaten at Preston, have been mightily impressive, but their away records will now be tested. Only 5 points on their travels this season, and Taylor is looking to make sure it stays that way. Gave it to Jallo. Wojciechowski made the challenge. Kawaguchi tried to work it wonderfully well. Selimovsky, Van Amerongen, Taylor, Alessi, back for Van Amerongen, all the way home for Young. Switch quickly for Suleimani. Now Yoshida, who has an overload. Thunder a 5-on-3 and pouring forward. Yoshida jinked left, went right, tried to stand it up for Clark at the back post, sent it in for Hassan Jallo to turn it over.
Standing on the 6-yard line and somehow has popped that straight over the bar. And you can probably hear by the effects mic of everybody gasp on that one. Did all the hard work. Clark, fabulous, nodded it back into the box, back into that danger spot, but just couldn't finish. And that could have put the nail in the coffin early, but it gives Thunder another chance to go forward again, but Altona living dangerously, very dangerously early doors here.
Habib turned initially away from Selimovsky, but couldn't get beyond Taylor, who tricked his way beyond two. In the end, Kamara had to come across to make the challenge. A golden chance for Hassan Jallo. It's 9 goals, the most of any Thunder player this season. Next up is May's Player of the Month, Yoshida with 7. Suleimani takes it quickly for Yuki Yoshida. Had the whole right wing to himself, tried to stand it up for Jallo. Bakadernikowski made the clearance, Clark chested it down. Tried to turn his way away from 4. Mehmeti wanted the drive. Important block made. Taylor picked it up again, he was looking for a double. And Altona will have a free kick.
And they've got a chance to relieve some of that pressure. Thunder have been playing quick football, very quick. They haven't settled on the ball. Every pass has been forward and looking to go forward. Unless it's a switch, but it's a very quick switch if they do. In and out, straight out to one side, back out to the other if needed. That's a big strike into the wind.
Shalamalov, Trenkova looked long. Gus tried to work it down the line for Fabrizio. Altona ran out of room. Approaching a quarter of an hour. Dandenong Thunder have had 2 chances. They've taken one, missed another, but thanks to Kyle Taylor's deflected effort, they have the lead. And here Taylor is again, streaming away from Kamara, who had to bring him down.
Probably not a yellow there, just there's enough players around him. But Yanni's said, no, we're happy, just have a little chat about that one, which is good refereeing. I'll have to convey with the stats man to see if he's put that one down as a genuine shot on target, or if that was a ambitious from Taylor.
Bakadernikowski across the clear lines. Clark was ready to try and fashion another cutback. Thunder will settle for a throw. Romanovsky gave it to Clark. Nearly sold him short on the return. Frangi won it. Tried to loft it for Fabrizio. Kamara got away. Habib turned away from Selimovsky. Had to pull him back in the end. Free kick taken quickly. Fizzed over towards the far side. Gus tried to make it work, but those opportunities, Josh, are ones Altona can't afford to squander when they have the Thunder caught like that.
Yeah, Habib just needed to drop it and get up forward himself instead of trying to do that wonder pass across the field. And he gives the ball straight away.
Suleimani tried to clip it back to Yoshida, who will have entered Dandenong Thunder folklore with his winner on the other side of town last week in stoppage time. A game with 2 goals with the 90 minutes having ticked over. Dandenong Thunder understanding the importance of tonight's performance. Already a goal ahead. As Shalamalov Trenkova looks long. Alessi won it up. Jallo stole a yard away from Bakadanakovsky. Was also greeted by Gust. It took 2 to stop him, and Gust was the one who won it. Cleared it into Selimovsky. Franchi tried to make it work. Alessi. Van Amerongen. Alessi, Selimovsky with Van Amerongen. Alessi happy to hold it. Thunder exercising some patience. Van Amerongen, Mehmeti all the way back for Young.
Scream comes from coaching bench to press, and they're trying to put him under pressure here. Forces a long ball, but open space here. Lovely flick on.
Brilliant from Yoshida to give it to Suleimani. Cut it back for Yuki Yoshida. Got it out of his feet. Shalamalov Trenkova made the save. Hassan Jallo on the scene to turn in the rebound. And Dandenong Thunder, one end to the other, broke the press and added a wonderful second.
Yeah, certainly had to after his calamitous miss earlier. He made sure of that one, buried that one, didn't give anybody give him a chance. Bounces fortunately to him though. It's a good save from the young keeper, but no defenders in sight on that rebound, and the ask of Altona gets even bigger now.
Jallo into double digits in 2025.
After playing in Iceland last year. So yeah, bit of a difference. Maybe on today's weather it might be a bit similar, but at least he'll be used to the cold.
Romanovsky's press, Kawaguchi's throw. Bakadanakovsky. To switch it all the way out. Stoichevsky gave it away. Jallo, lovely touch. Yoshida is on the march. Romanovsky's on the far side, and that is a brilliant third. Altona pockets picked. Dandenong Thunder 2 in a matter of minutes. And already inside 20, they have trebled their lead.
Unfortunately, the young keeper there potentially should have done a bit better with that one, but you're giving the ball away on the edge of your box, you're going to get punished by a team like this, and the rampage that they are at the moment. They've put them to the sword already, and we're inside 20 minutes, and it's not looking hopeful for the defensive frailties of Altona here.
Magic need a spell to get themselves back into this game. They need to find something. Dandenong Thunder are in the mood tonight. Fortnight of frustration now a distant memory. They are proving right now there truly is no place quite like home. Selimovsky tried to give it wide to Suleimani. It's given away. Habib, lovely touch, got it back. Tried to find Kamara. Clark read it. Yoshida once again is galloping forward. Habib went to slow him up. Dandenong Thunder will have a free kick.
I think Thunder's dynamic will change now. They'll concentrate on ensuring that clean sheet, which they're not too well adapted at the moment. And this is an opportunity for them to do it. Lovely nodded back to his keeper there. Gauchi, as he receives it back under a bit of pressure, looks inside.
Stoichevsky. Work it wide again. Tried to go down that left-hand side. Suleimani made the challenge. Gave it back for Van Amerongen. And Lessie. Him and the Dutchman happy to keep it between themselves. And Dandenong Thunder have only kept one clean sheet in 6. And with the fast start tonight, they have an opportunity to just lock it up defensively. As Alessi tried to whip it into the channel for Jallo. Gust. Fabrizio. Back for Stoichevsky, who went long looking for Frangi. Got in a tangle with Alessi, and won Altona a free kick.
Gives them a chance to whip something into the box. They've got some relative tall timber. Put Young under pressure in that defensive box there, but might be few and far between, so they need to make something of it. Get the stats rolling a bit more with this opportunity. As every Thunder player is back defending at the moment, a single one. And it shows probably more their intent of keeping this clean sheet.
Altona's first look tonight in a 22 minutes that they would like to forget so far. Can they find a remedy? It's fizzed in long to a dangerous area. Young came, didn't get there. Frangi went to flick it goalwards. In the end, it'll be a goal kick, but Jamie Young quickly off his line.
Yeah, I think Frangi's come off a bit second best there. Might be just a bit winded. Just got a. He did beat him to the ball, but Jamie Young well in his rights to go for it. Good to see he's up on his feet. And considering the weather, it's a much better crowd on that grandstand side than I assumed, so, which is good to see. It's always good support for the Thunder when they play at home. A few sitting in their cars with the lights on, you can see. Get the heating going.
Young switched it for Alessi. Thunder drawing the Altona press. Van Amerongen. Alessi once again. Switch might be on out the other side. Young instead gave it for Selimovsky. Alessi. Lofted it for Jallo. Flags up.
Simple coming from an offside position to try and receive the ball. It's under 12 stuff.
Stoichevsky, hustled by Jallo, gave it to Gust, who in turn was challenged by Yoshida. Thunder win it back. Suleimani, quick to take the throw in. Nobody competed with him. Fabrizio with a lovely flick over one, then two. Habib's feet not found. Van Amerongen's challenge. Suleimani, Alessi, they go all the way back. Young. Mehmeti. Now Jamie Young. Keeper adding another chapter to his glittering career in Melbourne's southeast, of course at Melbourne City. So plenty of football in England. And now keeping guard to the red and black fortress. Clark. Challenged by O'Keefe. Another thunder throw. And now having drawn the press, haven't quite been able to break it. Romanovski, Taylor's touch. Again, Kamara in. Josh, how important is it for Altona, who have been on the back foot in this first 25 minutes, just to trap that ball in and to get a little bit of respite down the other end of the pitch?
Yeah, even just a consistent stringing a few passes together would be probably a better start. As when they have created 4 ways forwards, but nothing to write home about just yet. As you can see, when they do get the ball, they do be able to create something.
Romanovski wriggled away from everybody but Habib, who brought him down. Taylor whipped it wide for Soleimani. Alessi. Taylor lofted it over the top. Tried to weight it for Soleimani. But on a night like this, slick, greasy pitch, the ball just skids out of play.
Yeah, especially down in that corner. That's where the slope finishes, and it's challenging going that way. As that one misses its mark. Trying to find O'Keefe, but you switch flanks. Try and see if he can influence the game a bit more this side. He has been very good this season for them.
Jallo went to battle. Romanovski picked up the pieces. Trochevsky cleared it. Clark tried to twist and turn his way beyond all of them. Mehmeti took over. Frangi tried to make it work. Altona will keep it. Kawaguchi's quick throw. Back at Danikovsky. Looked to fizz it wide. Soleimani couldn't find Yoshida. Gus got away from him. And Altona had a look momentarily. Soleimani cleared it. Only as far as Al-Hali. Trying to find Habib's feet. Frangi might make it work. Got there ahead of Young. And that is a super block from Van Amerongen. Frangi must have thought he had a tap in. Went round Jamie Young. But Dandenong Thunder's big Dutch centre-half in the way to make a crucial block, keeping that clean sheet intact.
Yeah, saved their blushes there, didn't the Dutchman there? He showed his worth, read the play well. The ball's about to get whipped in.
Corner taken with Loft, stood up towards Young, who gave it a punch. Yoshida gave it a flick. Altona were around it. Jallo cleared it away to Kawaguchi, who searched for Habib, speared it wide. That was a lovely ball. Has 2 to beat. Worked it inside. Selemovsky couldn't make the challenge. Alessi didn't clear it. Van Amerongen did. Broke for Habib, but Ties Van Amerongen fouled while trying to make that clearance.
And shown his worth yet again. That's a 2 in 30 seconds, and showing why he was brought into the club from in one of those visa spots, playing 2nd and 3rd division back home. He's showed his worth right there.
Two crucial touches and a free kick for the man from the Netherlands. Young now finds him to start things all over again. Altona go high. Young fizzed it for Soleimani. Couldn't quite keep it in.
Conditions just showing here every now and then. Just reminding players to hit feet rather than ambitious balls.
Kamara caught on it. Clark on the spin. Has Yoshida right. He does work it wide to him. Yoshida with options centrally. dances his way through one, couldn't get beyond the other. Selimovsky slid in. Gust was the one who came away with it. Tried to find Habib. Van Amerongen just calmly stepped in.
You can probably hear from the coaching staff. Should have just hit it, and he beat him one, and dare to say potentially tried to be greedy and tried to keep going. Should have just pulled the trigger and put the young keeper under even more pressure, but his defence come to his rescue. And it was a golden opportunity to put the final nail in the coffin. It gives them a hope.
Kamara won it. Works it wide for El Harley. Stachevsky, Gust. El Harley with a deft 1-2. Yoshida made the challenge. Altona free kick. Just a little bit of a late lunge.
Yes. Just nothing too sinister. Just a overreach.
Kamara. El Harley. Lovely ball wide. For Gust to advance, but just too early.
Yeah. Thunder rely on a good defensive line, and it's showed a couple of times already. Just breaking a bit too keen. They've got the pace and ability with Habib, and even Gust is reasonably quick enough to get in behind.
Yoshida whipped it for Jallo, who spun his way beyond Stoichevsky. Jallo's got options in the middle on the far side. Yoshida's along with him. He found Yoshida, who took a touch, tried to square it for Clark. Altona get the numbers back. Kamara might be able to lead a break. Habib got away from Mehmeti. Romanovsky and Selimovsky forced him into a split to find O'Keefe. Alessi stepped in. Happy to give it back for Van Amerongen. Taylor. And to cool it down. Mehmeti. Selimovsky. Quick 1-2. Feasted into the feet of Clark. Couldn't take it under. Jallo made it work. Clark tried to keep it going. Yoshida clashed with Gust. Clark once again, this time lofting it for Suleimani. Got an all-important flick. Will be a Thunder corner.
Not sure if the camera caught after Habib's attack broke down. There was a bit of questions and verbal conversation with some of his teammates and alike, and it's just creeping into the anger of Altona, frustrated at themselves, questioning each other. And they just need to be careful. They can get caught again, like they did in the first 20 minutes.
Mehmeti's corner, fizzed it. Van Amerongen got up!
All 6 foot plus of him. He got something on it. But, I think he's, according to his Wikipedia page, which I take with a pinch of salt, he's 6'5", which I beg to differ, to be honest.
It's Van Amerongen. Mehmeti. Pressed by O'Keefe. Wanted to clip it down the line for Romanovsky. Questions over whether it did stay in or not. It didn't. The Dandenong Thunder throw. Selimovsky lofted it for Taylor, who took it down ever so coolly. Rolled it back for Alessi. And now Suleimani, who's got space once again, who had Yoshida. He drifted. Altona waited for a flag. It didn't come. Kamara cut out his ball back. Clark wanted to hustle him. Gust gave it to O'Harley, who had his pocket picked. Yoshida for Clark. Has options aplenty. Clark goes alone. Shalamanov Trankova parried it. Romanovsky tried to recover it, but just used a bit too much up against Kawaguchi. 10 minutes till half time, plus stoppages. It was a 20-minute rush. A quick thunder treble, that is the difference. Altona were hit hard early and haven't quite found a way back in. Taylor hooked it, Kawaguchi. Taylor nodded it. Romanovski, Selimovski. Back for Mehmeti. Now Young. Waiting on his options. Frangi getting ever closer. Alessi. Found the feet of Yoshida, who wriggled away. Gus made the challenge. Taylor picked his pocket, but under Yoshida's challenge, Altona will have a free kick. Taken quickly. Gust. El Harley. Gust. El Harley, that's a lovely loft in towards O'Keefe. Van Amerongen had to clear it. Selimovski got a touch. Jallo for Clark. Set it a touch behind Romanovski, who will keep it alive. Taylor. Selimovski. Speared it for Suleimani to try and give chase. And once again, they open up Altona on that switch.
It's the experience of Clark, almost 200 games, and or even Taylor, his years of experience in the lower leagues in the UK, playing for Exeter. They're running the show, and it's prevalent at the moment.
Products of Exeter and Southend. Standing on Thunder's number 8. Selimovski in a tussle with Fabrizio. Alessi. Suleimani, who dropped in, cleared it towards Jallo. Touch beyond Taylor. Kamara now has room to run. O'Keefe. Kawaguchi's advanced with him. O'Keefe twisting and turning his way beyond Romanovski. Stood it up for Habib. Fabrizio at the back post had arrived. Away from Alessi, hooked back in acrobatically. Frangi couldn't turn it into the net, but he had to get inventive.
Yeah, it's the spark they need. Looking at it, it's best opportunity they've had going forwards, and it may not be a shot on target, but it's better than the first 37 minutes that were played, and it shows that they can do it. They have the attacking ability to do it. And as you
Taylor.
can hear from the bench, they weren't happy.
Mehmeti gave it into Yoshida. Stochevsky slid in. Al-Hali benefited. Lovely 1-2. Habib went for a drive. Took a touch. Altona corner.
As you can probably hear on the effects mic, as the not happy with the miscommunication on that press there. We will apologise for any language that is being caught on any effects mic.
Altona corner. Fizzed in again. Young got a punch. Yoshida. Mehmeti. Tried to return it to Yoshida. Kawaguchi. Gave it away to Taylor. Selimovski back for Taylor. First time. Couldn't touch it round the corner. Al-Hali. Gust. Back with Al-Hali. He's got Selimovski for company. Stochevsky. Pressed by Jano. All the way back for Shalamalov. Trenkova. We had Clark lurking, had to be quicker with it. And in the end tried to loft it for Gus, but lofted it too long.
Yeah, the young 22-year-old, he's just had a little bit of confidence knocked in that first 20-minute barrage of pressure and goals. He's got a long way to recover.
Gorgeous turn from Yoshida. Gave it to Jallo. Suleimani skipped his way beyond one. Tried to fizz it in low. Bakadenikovsky didn't quite clear it as he wanted to, got enough on it, will be a Thunder corner.
I don't think he heard the call from his keeper, who's coming rushing as well. Could have ended in calamity there again. I think it looks like we've got an issue with the ball. Claiming it's flat or popped, as I heard one of the players say.
New one found for Mehmeti's corner. Inside the final 5 minutes plus stoppage time before half time. Mehmeti lofts it wonderfully for Van Amerongen. Shalamalov Trankova got a touch. And maybe also unintentionally got a touch from Van Amerongen, and Altona will have a free kick.
Yeah, just crowded the keeper there, and they're a protected species nowadays. You can't touch your keeper like that. And he is going to require some assistance. And speaking of Altona's light on the bench, there's got 3 under 23 players on the bench, and already with Rossi out, they're on their second keeper already, so they won't want to lose him either. Can't afford to have a third string keeper on, or youth keeper as you prefer to say.
Shalamalov Trankova looks all right to continue. Good news from an Altona standpoint. Good to see him back on his feet. He launches it towards O'Keefe. Mehmeti flicked it down the line for Clark. Couldn't get beyond back of Danikowski. He did wonderfully well to see it out. Kawaguchi's throw. Back of Danikowski. Cleared his lines. Suleimani chested it down for Alessi. Young. Van Amerongen. Mehmeti. Got a touch. Kamara. Trying to work it into the channel for O'Keefe. Flag has stayed down. O'Keefe's got a yard. Van Amerongen got a flick. Young had to punch it. Gust on the rebounds. Couldn't get a shot under.
It's coming, but they're getting chances. They're starting to pepper that box a bit more now and putting the pressure back on to Thunder. It's Young gives it away.
Aaron clearance. Al-Ali shot. Van Amerongen was there to make the block at the expense of an Altona corner.
Yet again, you're going to get sick of saying his name there, Ethan.
A busy first half. Thijs Van Amerongen. They'll have a bit more to do as Altona look to claw a goal back before half-time. Fizzed in again to a dangerous area. Van Amerongen's flick away. Kamara beat Nishida to it. Kawaguchi tried to loft it down the line for Gust, whose flick on couldn't keep it in. Kawaguchi asked a lot of him.
Yes, they do that ball well. But, just asking too much of his teammate there.
Shida for Jallo. Tried to work themselves out of a tight area. In turn gave it away. Stoichevsky. Back for Shalamalov Trankova. As we head into 1 minute of stoppage time prior to the break. Altona have merely 60 seconds to either get one back or not concede a fourth. Jallo is on the march. Rolled it for Clark, who checked one back, didn't pull the trigger. Romanovsky tried to give it back to him. Sanamovsky went to turn it in. That is a golden chance for the Thunder to add a fourth. Clark found cleverly by Jallo, who just rolled it back. All he had to do was turn it in. Why on earth didn't he pull the trigger?
He had a couple of sights and did incredibly well beating one, selling a nice little fake to one, but then he tried to lay it back to a fellow teammate who just wasn't on the same page and wasted opportunity.
On the stroke of half-time, Dandenong Thunder missed the chance to add a fourth, but it has been a first half of dominance from them. Altona with a lot of head scratching, plenty of questions to answer at the break. They were hit hard in the opening 20 minutes. The Thunder stormed away, and half-time here at George Andrews, it is Dandenong Thunder 3, Altona Magic 0.
Dandenong Thunder would like to thank its following 2025 sponsors. Major sponsor, Rapid Start AI, Entertainment Projects, Bessa Group, Anton Jewelry, Harley Flowers, Nessa and Sons, Sullivan Group, Exclusive Property Developments, Alicia, Royal Stacks, Malika Group, Elysium Real Estate, Barbecue Cave, Cameron Commercial Real Estate, The Manor on High, CNC Chrome, Spectrum Real Estate. Dandenong Thunder would like to thank its following 2025 partners: Dandenong Pavilion, Zadig Shamus, Ultratune, Ozlock, Casey Charcoal Chicken, Dandy Fresh, Jetbox, Albrook Woodworks, Elmont Building, Harley Farm Fresh, Maliku Flowers, APAC, Faster Plastics, Ferrari Holdings, Fresh Mixed Produce, Harley Flowers, High School Solar, Miles Transport, The CD Bros, Tacon Group, The Grand Cafe, AG Panels, Area Code, The Zemi Bros, Dionsu, Lindsay Sellers, Natural Soil, Shanikas, Jordan Flowers, Emerald Hill Flowers, Acai Cafe, Acre Bulbs, Berry Flowers, Bloom in Melbourne, Bridge Road Flowers, E&E Muir & Sons, Marla Group, Better Haulage, Pallets on the Run, Extra Foods, Danny's Flowers, Bigger Bodyworks, Ray White, Johnny Boys, Illyrian Ultrashine, Motorsport and NBSS Security. Best Way Butchers. Hello World Travel.
Half-time scores of George Andrews Reserve, Dandenong Thunder 3, Altona Magic 0. Scores around the grounds, around 17. Hume City 3, Dandenong City 0. Green Gully 0, Port Melbourne 0. Preston Lions 0, Heidelberg 1. St Albans 2, South Melbourne 2.
saying? How are you saying? Cincinnati?
We are back from half-time here at George Andrews under the lights. Dandenong Thunder were terrific in the opening 45. They scored 3 unanswered. Altona would have had plenty of questions to ask at the break. Plenty of methods looked at to get back into this game. The Thunder are looking to keep it similar, to continue their march back towards the top. If Altona were to provide a turnaround, it would be one of the greatest in this fixture's history, and it would pull them further clear of the relegation zone. And Josh, it looks like there's been a reshuffle at half-time.
Yes.
In order for them to do that.
Yes. Kamara and O'Keefe off, with Rodriguez and Ginales on. Pretty much like for like for both of them, so they've got a chance. Full 45 minutes. There's a great ball in behind here.
Yoshida for Suleimani, for Clark. It found its way in. Brilliant ball in. And Dandenong Thunder fly out of the traps in the second half. They add their 4th in a matter of seconds. Clark got the final touch. Suleimani with a super ball in. And Dandenong Thunder make it 4 in a matter of moments after the restart. Altona plunged further into the mire. And a wet and wild Saturday for the Magic takes a more grisly turn.
Yeah, the subs not up to speed, everyone cold, and the coach's message certainly didn't come to anything there from the half-time at all. It's not what they would have wanted. Straight out of the sheds.
Selemoski happy to make a rather tactical foul. Super header from Clark. Teasing ball from Suleimani after Yoshida whipped it into the channel ever so wonderfully. And Thunder have the fast start they were looking for. Rodriguez this time gets away from Suleimani. His first involvement is to drive at 3. Cut it back for Sitsinaris. It nearly opened up. Clark, who scored at one end, made the challenge at the other. Frangi tried to make it work. Mehmeti just happy to clear his lines. All the way out to Bakadanakovsky. Habib. Spit it. All the way out for Gust. El Hali. Standing up Taylor. Stoichevsky. Lovely ball into Habib, who was hustled by Yoshida. Selemoski is now on the drive. Options left and right. Jallo's gone down the channel. Clark has stayed centrally. Selemoski continued his run, tried to hook it back towards Clark. Important block in the way. Gust got up. Selemoski was there for the drop. Gave it too long for Yoshida. But Van Amerongen is there to sweep up. Taylor. Clark. Selemovski. Alessi. Van Amerongen. Selemovski drew the press. Alessi. Suleimani. Yoshida wanted it to feet. He went down the channel. Gus cut it out. Habib gave it back to him. Stoichevsky hooked it clear. Alessi got up. And Frangi stayed down. Clutching his head, just the coming together between those two.
Yes, just a little head knock to the head, so they'll always check and stop on that one. And it's a I think they're asking for a drop ball, but I don't think it will be. Yes, going with a free kick. He may not wanted some treatment, but he's getting it nonetheless. Habib rolls us back into play.
Stoichevski looked for Gust. Got away from Suleimani. Fisted into the area, but Young was the only one there to meet it. Jamie Young happy to take his time. Did more with his feet than his hands in the first half. Alessi. Loose ball. Gus got a foot in. Habib. It's the one who came away with it. Gave it to El Harley. Frangi can open it up. Flag was up for offside. Young made the save just in case, but it wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, again, it's same story as the first half. They've managed to get him behind. Just nothing. Oh, Clark's in acres of space here. Knocks it out wide, and they'll probably be happier to keep the ball just like that. Don't need to force the ball going forward now. They've got that 4 goals.
Suleimani went down the line. Jallo. Battle with Stoichevski. Kept it for the Thunder. Suleimani's throw. Wanted Yoshida to spin. Gust. Rodriguez did well. Suleimani won it back. Taylor, Jallo. Lovely loft from Selimovsky. Taylor didn't know it, the flag was up.
Yeah, it's getting dangerous. Attacking with ease and looking very prevalent and worrying signs every time he goes forward. Rodriguez is fresh legs down this camera side. He's got the pace to try and get him behind. As he's involved again. Frangi looking to cut it back inside.
Frangi went beyond 2. Van Amerongen once again in the way to make the block. Altona magic corner, but Frangi, that's the first real time he's been able to spark into life.
Yeah, and you would have heard a very irate Adam Piddick there, not happy with his defence, allowing him to just stroll through.
Altona corner. Sitsinaris came short for El Harley, who lumped it towards the back post. Young gave the call off the header to claim it. Yuki Yoshida was storming down the right-hand side. Young instead chose to roll it out for Mehmeti. Now Yoshida. He's found a pocket of room, gave it to Taylor. Thunder are in again. Suleimani on the right. Jallo through the channel. That's a smashing ball. Jallo in. That's a brilliant save. Shalamanov Trankova off his line to close the angle. Taylor carved Altona open, but Hassan Jallo just couldn't apply the finish.
Could have been dangerous there. They were in, and as again, they're looking like they might be in again. As he happily turns back, and the call for passing and keeping the ball. There's an air swing there.
Sitsinaris didn't clear his line. Selimovsky kept going. Back at Danakovsky. Cleared it only to give it away to Massim Mehmeti. Yoshida took it over, skipped his way inside, gave it to Clark. He tried to turn, got away from 2, did wonderfully well. Alessi. Van Amerongen. And in the end, Thunder are forced all the way back.
Yeah, they won't mind that. Keeping the ball as Young plays with everyone's heart there.
Van Amerongen, lovely ball. Yoshida with a searching switch. Taylor is in. Taylor tucked his way inside. That's a brilliant save again. Shalamanov Trankova flung himself across. Tipped it wide for a corner, but that's another terrific save.
Yeah, two within a minute there from the young goalkeeper, who unfortunately made a hash of the third goal and trying to make up for it in the second half. He's got a chance. He's going to be peppered and going to be challenged every time. He's showed his worth there. Showed why he's on the team sheet.
of the Thunder corner. Mehmeti's take, fizz to the back post, they all go up. Romanovski wanted to whip it back for Mehmeti. Couldn't keep it in. Gust gave it back to Stoichevsky. Shalamanov, Trenkova. Australian Bulgarian looks long to good effect. That's a lovely dummy as well. Frangi tried to get on the march. Suleimani there to mop up.
And they've relieved some of the pressure here just by keeping the ball. And it's never going to be a free kick there. Turned straight into the danger and turned over. Fun to have a chance to push forward. Clark.
Now Taylor. Once again, weighted it superbly for Romanovski, who had Bakadanikowski breezed his way beyond him. In the end, the Magic Man stuck a foot out. Will be a Thunder corner.
It was a fabulous ball forward there, and if he had the extra yard of pace, he would have been in on goal. But he had to turn back, and they could regroup and regather. As the tall timber comes forward again for this one. They won't throw every man and his dog at this one. They don't need to. As I said in the first half, they'll be concerned about that, keeping that clean sheet.
Taylor's corner, fizzed it into the near post. Nearly put into their own net. Fabrizio nearly got the most unfortunate but a telling touch on it. Instead it will be a corner, and his blush is well and truly spared.
He'll be claiming that as a good defensive clearance under the pressure he was on. But, he's lucky it's not in the back of the net.
Taylor's take again, this time with more loft. Shalamanov, Trenkova got it. Romanovski and Yoshida worked it out. Taylor. Van Amerongen just stabbed it towards Jallo. Bakadanikowski cleared it. And it's lofted, hooked further, all the way back to Jamie Young, who had Frangi approaching, sorted his feet out in time. Selamovsky, that is superb. Drifted his way beyond to Alessi. Suleimani with Daniel Alessi. Now Young. Venturing and then found Clark with absolute ease. He's got room to turn and to charge. Has 5 up with him. Romanovski is one of them. Inside of Kawaguchi, Romanovski goes alone! Another terrific tip from Shalamanov Trenkova as Romanovski rifled it towards goal.
Yeah, fabulous save from the young keeper again. Last 5-10 minutes he's been called on a couple of times and really stepped up this second half after what would be a disappointing first half for him. He's making amends, keeping it a somewhat respectable scoreline that could have blown right out.
Mehmeti's corner, close to an hour ticking over. Cleared as far as Tsitsunaris, couldn't get it beyond Yoshida. Now Alessi fired it in. Jallo couldn't touch it. Clark brought it down. Laid it off for Mehmeti to drive one. Oh, wow! Oh, what a hit that is! An absolute perler. Messi Mehmeti with a beautiful drive. A 5-star hit for a 5-star goal. And a 5-star Thunder performance.
Absolute Hollywood finish there. Doesn't matter that he needed the post to help, but that is something you will see highlights of for the weeks to come. 25 out and absolutely rifles it home. And it is damage control for Altona now. 5, and it's Can they stem the bleed? Can they do something?
Lovely turn by Rodriguez. Fizzed it down the line wonderfully. Altona looking to find a way back into it. Sinaris tried to get around Romanovski, who slid in. And there will be a Jamie Young goal kick.
And let's see how that brings the changes for NPLMVIC's team. He's got the opportunity to throw a few fresh faces on. As the press almost comes off, but they work it down this camera side.
Brilliant ball from Suleimani. Likewise from Yoshida. Romanovski on the charge. Once again checked his way inside. Wanted to give it to Clark, who wasn't quite on the same wavelength, but Romanovski then stopped back at Danikoski's clearance. It means that Altona will have to restart with a deep throw once again.
Yeah, Thunder can smell blood here. They're not letting up. 5-0 up, you'd think you'd shut up shop and just keep and retain the ball. But they're happy to press forward and put them to the sword.
Goal difference going to be important in this season's title race, in this season's finals picture. The Thunder, with an hour ticked over, have added another handful. It's Romanovski.
Certainly with the likes of Heidelberg and Altona banging in goals left, right and centre, they need to keep pace with them, and 5 is certainly going to help.
Jallo gave it out to Suleimani. They might not be done yet. Altona needs to be cautious that this doesn't reach full-scale meltdown for the Magic, instead of mere implosion. Suleimani. Yoshida turned away. Suleimani wanted to keep it in, but he ran out of room. Gust. Hustled by Jallo, who wouldn't leave him alone. Stoichevsky cleared his lines. Alessi kept the situation cool, gave it back for Young. Van Amerongen. Young. Superb ball to find Suleimani. He tried to loft it for Hassan Jallo. Stoichevsky nodded it for Rodriguez. It was taken off it by Selimovsky. Suleimani. Alessi. Back to his keeper once again. Young hustled by Frangi. Quick heart in mouth moment. Found Mehmeti, then Clark. That is so beautifully worked to find Taylor. Clark gave it back to Taylor. Got away from Fabrizio. Selimovsky. Alessi, the Thunder worked that terrifically, and now Yoshida can clip it for Jallo or for Suleimani. The flag has stayed down for both. Jallo's all on his own in the middle. It was long for him. Romanovski kept it alive. Stood it up. Clarksvik. Yoshida whipped it. So nobody at the back post apart from Baka Danikoski to clear his lines. Mehmeti ushered it out but took a touch on it. Dandenong Thunder just played some simply superb football to break through that Altona press.
Yeah, as we get a couple of quick changes here for Thunder, with Edwards coming on. And Rook coming on as well. Yoshida and Jewel coming off, and they've done their job. They've been very good this evening, and get the handshakes and applaudance of everybody. And this is the chance some of the subs need. Only 65 minutes in, so they've got plenty of time to stamp their mark. It's been a bit of a frantic game, so they've got to get up to speed very quickly. As the rain starts to get even heavier again.
Yuki Yoshida and Hassan Jallo just taking in the applause from those of us to our right. Back at Danikowski. Back for Shalamanov-Trankova. Altona, at the moment, have been well and truly thunderstruck, and Edwards is looking to add some more of it. Stoichevski's challenge. Al-Hali hooked it away. Frangi beaten to it by Van Amerongen. Rook. Lovely touch for Taylor. Romanovski. Mehmeti. Got it back from Selimovski. And then speared it for Suleimani. Took it down, worked his way inside. Taylor's dummy, then got it from Clark. Shalamanov-Trankova came, had to get there. Taylor looked to loft it over. The keeper made another important save. Altona now. Had a brief moment to break, but Jamie Young will see it all the way home.
There you go. Another opportunity, doesn't matter who they are. They're coming through every time, so they've got to be careful, Altona, to not lose even more. It's that combination of Clark and Taylor been formidable already. And as Clark and Taylor look like they've just tweaked their front line, and they're going to play the two highest men up forward. So it looks like a 4-4-2 they've gone to.
Mehmeti back for Young. Rook touched it down for Selimovski. Got it, then tried to turn away from Habib. Lost it and gave a late lunge. Will be an Altona free kick. Blisteringly cold night in the southeast, it has to be said. Someone used the term Baltic. There's an Altona free kick. Al-Hali took it quickly, took it short, then got it back. Tried to drill one low. Mehmeti in the way. Selimovski for Taylor. Mehmeti's touch too heavy. Mopped up well by Altona. Tsitsinaris gave it to Al-Hali. Now Frangi, who worked it out well. Tsitsinaris' touch took a challenge on the way. Will be an Altona corner.
As Ismaili looks to come on. Be after this one, I would assume.
Thunder will have to wait to make that third change. So after this magic set piece, whipped into a dangerous area. Took a final touch, and Dandenong Thunder will have a goal kick.
Young won't be in any rush to take it.
Tonight for Altona, as Ismaili is about to make his way on. Suleimani, his night is finished. Recently back from injury, of course. Dandenong Thunder captain back into the fold. An impressive performance tonight.
Yeah.
Sevdim Ismaili makes his way on.
Like he hadn't missed a minute of football there. He did very well for limited minutes that he was always going to get today, and easing him back into play, and that's a very good 70 minutes for him.
Taylor's turn. Found Romanovski. Mehmeti clipped it into the channel, trying to find Taylor. Go into touch. Now Altona tonight, for a team who have kept 3 clean sheets in their last 4 games. Josh, where on earth did it all go wrong?
That first 20 minutes, pure pressure from Thunder. And we've got a chance to try and conjure something here with subs combining. Rodriguez just gives it away in the end. Taylor can bring it forward.
And Harley lost out. Taylor gave it to Clark. Is waiting on Edwards on the overlap. Instead gave it back to Kyle Taylor. Shifted it onto his right. Lovely ball for Selemovsky. That is a super goal. Superb sick for Dandenong Thunder. Taylor with the tidiest of ballbacks. Selemovsky just slid it under Sharamanov, Trenkova. And Dandenong Thunder deepen Altona magic misery.
Yeah, six of the best there. That tops off a cracking night for the whole team here. And the main thing is that different goal scorers, which is good for them, spreading the load. Everyone getting on the team sheet, and that ticket of a clean sheet is what they'll be desperately after now. There's somebody woke the fans up in the crowd with a corner flag down as well.
Tonight's the perfect preparation, when you look at it, for a massive, massive month of football, potentially season-defining for tonight's host. They go to Heidelberg next week, who are top of the tree. They then face Avondale away in the Cup, before going to the Lakeside, Avenger Park, and finally being back at home at the start of July to play Oakley. So they play each of their title-chasing opponents within the next month, all of on the road. How important a month for them is that going to be? Do you think that that defines their credentials and where they will look to see themselves come season end?
Yeah, certainly. If they can get a couple of results out of that, they'll really put themselves in the mix. They are just teetering on the edge of that top 3, and can they send a message? Yes, it's okay beating a team battling relegation, but can they do it against one of the big boys up the top? Altona may not be the stiffest of opposition, especially at the moment with injuries and suspensions. But as Clark is in acres of space here, flying forward. And he's caught late. Yanni's happy to allow play to continue.
Taylor tried to switch it. Rook for Ismaili. Now Alessi. Edwards will let it trickle out, as Clark requires a little bit more attention. It was a late challenge, it caught him high.
Yes, and rightly so, he books him afterwards. He was always going to come back, book him after the fact. He did try and say that as he let play continue. Yanni, that's very well refereed in the end.
And Altona, they play all the teams around them. Next up, they have Hume at home. Then come back to this side of town, but on the other side of it to play Dandenong City before an away game at Green Gully. Back down at Paisley Park to host Heidelberg before the Lakeside on the 20th of July against South Melbourne. So a chance for them to rebound quickly from tonight, and also to avoid themselves being dragged right back into that relegation fight.
Yeah, especially it's 3 teams that's possibly down this year, so you don't want to get brought back into that fight. It's going to be hard enough with the likes of South and Knights already in that fight. You don't want to be in that fight with them. They did themselves a favour getting a few scrappy wins, a few scrappy points, but today's just got away from them. And they won't mind getting away with here with as little physical damage as possible on players. No suspensions, nothing like that. and get away and regroup.
For tonight, they had the opportunity to go 8 points away of the drop zone and within 2 of Green Gully. But unfortunately, from an Altona perspective, does not look like it's going to happen, as they would need 7 in a quarter of an hour. Dandenong Thunder happy to run their final 2 changes of the night. Elmazi for Alessi. And a good night's work from Selimovski as he makes way for Aquem.
As he gets asked, does he have shin pads? Does he have this? And he's got a lot of white tape on there. The young fella told to take it off.
Jack Aquem, just 21 years of age. Product of the Thunder's under-23 system. And finally, in this part of the world, seeing some first-team action. There's been a lot of talk about his talent in recent months, in recent seasons. He's now getting opportunities this season to show what he's about. And he's immediately involved. Gave it back to Edwards, who looked it for Taylor. Aquem was on the cutback, stood it up, but the flag was up. The Shalamanov Trenkova got a tip.
The substitutions show that Adam is not going to sit back. He's still got attacking prowess coming on, and that's very good from Adam to try and boost that goal difference as it's turnover again. And as you can hear, he wants them to keep attacking. He's not happy when they're turning over the ball in attacking opportunities, as that is pummeled forward.
Nearly an awkward one for Jamie Young, but happy to backtrack quickly and claim it coolly.
Wind assisted, we'll say.
Ismaili. Clark tried to clip it around the corner for Romanovsky. Stoichevsky made the late challenge, will go into the book. Altona need to be careful.
Yeah, a bit of tired and frustration. Frustration with the situation that they've put themselves in, but tiredness because they've just been run ragged, especially that midfield. Clark and Taylor have just dominated in that middle of the park, and when you've got Clark, who's pushing 200 games, playing up against Altona's midfield 3, and they don't even, all 3 of them don't even match the amount of appearances in the top flight for as Clark does. So that says a lot for the inexperience in this Altona side.
Elmazi fizzed it in the channel. Ismaili took that down wonderfully well. Clark gave it back to him. Now Edwards, stripped of it by Rodriguez, who's looked lively since coming on. Touch back for Frangi. Stoichevsky. Back at Danikovsky. Teased by Taylor. Altona trying to work themselves out of this Dandenong Thunder press. Let's go all the way back. For Shalamanov Trenkova to clear. Ismaili did well to flick it back for Young.
Did very well there. Under enough pressure from fresh legs. He may be fresh legs himself, but he's got to be switched on from the start, and he was there.
Elmazi. Young. Van Amerongen. Elmazi happy to hook it towards Clark. Stoichevsky, Rodriguez, Gust. Frangi. Drifted his way inside. And then switched it superbly. That is a lovely ball to look for Tsitsinaris, but the wind just took that away at the last second.
Yeah, looked like a fabulous ball. It just got caught in the end with the wind, and it's the story of their night really. Just anything they've done just hasn't come off. No matter what they've done, hasn't worked, and easily dealt with again from Thunder.
Young, Van Amerongen. El Mazi. Find their way through the press. That's a lot of Romanovsky. Stoichevsky. Gust hustled. Stoichevsky lofted it into the channel. Amazi, that's a lovely flick on. Edwards tried to turn it around the corner. Another Altona throw. Gust. Stoichevsky. Gust once again. Had the runner in Fabrizio. Jamie Young quickly off his line. Happy to claim it as the final 10 minutes are upon us. Here at George Andrews, and the rain has subsided for the first time on this Saturday eve. It's Van Amerongen. Mehmeti. Lovely ball. Taylor with a terrific touch. Gave Akwen something to run after. Stoichevsky stuck a foot out at it. Rook won it. Akwen touched it for Taylor. He's twisting, turning. Akwen's got a yard. Gave it on to Romanovsky, who had two at the far post. Jay Romanovsky did brilliantly to keep it, but then gave it away to Rodriguez. Fabrizio. Rodriguez continued his run, is found terrifically. Rodriguez has an opportunity and turns his effort wide. It's a chance.
Yeah, and Rodriguez did the hard work, did the hard yards, got himself in a great position, but just fluffed his lines at the end. And he's been a rare shining light for them since they've come on. He's actually done reasonably well for them, but just had the opportunity and couldn't capitalise there.
Edwards' sharp turn. Romanovsky marauding, rolling into the channel for Clark. They're not quite done yet, the Thunder. Clark fizzed it. Dandenong won it away. Fabrizio couldn't get it beyond Edwards. Rook recovered it. Taylor turns. Thought about it, tried to slide it through for Clark, but Gus got in the way. Frangi. Hustled by Almazi. Did well to draw the free kick.
Yeah, he's with the limited service he's had, he's tried to do something with it every time. Credit where credit's due. But it's a very despondent figure that he strolls back to the front line. There's little to no option.
Back at Dandenong. Sitsinaris. Fabrizio. El Harley. Lovely switch. Gust. Can Altona blemish a clean sheet? Rodriguez gave it back to him with a terrific touch. Ismaili made the all-important challenge. Edwards got away with it. Taylor, Rook. Taylor evaded it well. Ismaili kept his cool. El Mazi. Van Amerongen. Mehmeti. Rook. Edwards. All the way back for El Mazi. Edwards. Van Amerongen, who's been ever present so far this season. Romanovsky. Mehmeti, who's also not missed a single match. Taylor. Twisting and turning with such terrific ability. Clark tried to clip it into Ismaili. Frangi got away from Clark. El Mazi then caught him. Altona will have a free kick. Frangi did well to get out of a tight situation.
Yeah, could have been a foul first or second touch on him.
And Harley took it quickly, tried to lift it for Fabrizio. Ismaili hooked it away. Stoichevsky. Back at Dandenong. Sitsinaris lost it. Rook, Taylor. Terrific. Clark Romanovski was nearly away. Gust had to make the interception. And now gets the benefit of rolling it to Rodriguez. Frangi. Rodriguez. Can Altona at least take one for the road? Fabrizio gave it away. Almazi read it. Gave it to Clark. Held up by Habib. Rook. Van Amerongen. Edwards. Rook once again. Edwards stunned, happy to just keep the possession, to keep it cool. Romanovski round the corner. Ismaili trying to fizz it into Clark's feet. Rodriguez. Habib. El Harley. Fabrizio lifted it over at Quen. Mehmeti stepped in. Taylor gave a quick 1-2. Mehmeti fancies another maraud forward. That is a superb ball to find Clark, whose touch might have let him down. He kept it alive, but couldn't beat the Altona wall that blocked him. Edwards gave it back to Aquen. And now Rook switched it for Ismaili. Romanovski gave him the channel run. Gust just left one on him. Dandenong Thunder free kick.
Clark, he had his chance. But, as you said, it's probably just his first touch that let him down. And managed to keep the ball is probably the most important thing in the end. They're not going to rush to take this. They'll set themselves up, get some of the tall timber up. Not that he need it, but they'll slowly stroll up. Amazi is a nice tall timber that's come on as well.
Taylor thought about it. Mehmeti, super ball again. Flicked header. Fabrizio. Gust. El Harley leading the break. Worked it wide for Frangi. We just had to wait on the cavalry to arrive. Kawaguchi. Sitsinaris. Stood it up terrifically for Fabrizio, and Gus neither could get a touch. Teasing ball into the back post, but no one was there to get a meaningful touch to try and turn it goalward.
Yeah, I was begging for someone just to get something on it. Probably didn't need much to not it goal bound. But you're asking a lot of probably two of the shortest players on the field. It's a bit of an ask, but opportunities there, and Adam Piddick wasn't happy below us. It almost ruined their chance for a clean sheet. It's still there. That's what they'll be pushing for now.
Edwards, Clark, Rook. Won it the first time, fouled the second. Stoichevsky in a hurry. Gave it to Frangi, who turned his way beyond two of them. Gave it a go!
Lovely bit of footwork. And took it upon himself to try and conjure something with that quick free kick, and everyone just stood and watched. Managed to beat a couple, but couldn't wrap his foot around it enough to bend it into the top corner. If that was my car behind the goal, I'd be going to check that dent in the bonnet.
Young. Fizzed it for Ismaili. Romanovski tried to go down the right-hand side. Stoichevsky mops it up wonderfully. Gave it to Gust. Almazi gave El Harley a flick. Altona free kick.
Just a few fouls creeping into the last knock-ins of the game here. And again, no one really rushing to take it. Not many options.
Frangi tried to flick it round the corner. Ismaili for Romanovski. Tried to thread them. Habib. Gust. took a heavy touch. Almazi, Ismaili, Clark, Taylor. The Dandenong Thunder combination to break the press. Edwards. Rook. Edwards. Just work it between themselves. Lovely ball to find Akwen. Taylor. Turned away from Habib. Edwards. Van Amerongen gave it back to him. Almazi. His chance to maraud forward. Ismaili. Touch for Romanovsky. No stoppage time necessary. That is all for tonight at George Andrews. A super Saturday for the Dandenong Thunder. They were scintillating from start to finish. It was a 20-minute flood in the first half. In the second, they showed some class. And Altona simply had no answers. Dandenong, a happy hunting ground once again. They remain unbeaten at George Andrews, and they go into a crucial month on the road in the most terrific of fashion, in the most telling of fashion. Full-time at George Andrews Reserve, it is Dandenong Thunder 6, Altona Magic 0.